And today we have a very good friend. Christian and I go maybe 15 or 20 years, Christian.
I thought about that. I think it's 2005 Toronto, I think, the first time.
Toronto, yeah, imagine.
But for real, it was Budapest 2007, yes.
Yeah, imagine. So, and Christian is an expert in digital transformation and design thinking, strategy implementation. He's done a lot of work there. So I'm very pleased that he has accepted to share his knowledge with us and have then a bit of a discussion, breakout rooms, and see where we get there. So Christian, thank you very much. Maybe you want to do a small introduction about your highlights and then go straight into the presentation. Thank you, Christian.
Yes, thank you very much, Antonio. And hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm Christian Delores. I am based out of Stockholm, Sweden. I run my own company, Prioritization Change Management, and I'm also employed with the Swedish Avega Group. And what I do is I help businesses and organizations to transform into business agility, and that with sustainable leadership. And my passion is actually to do social good and giving my contribution so we can help the world to be in better shape and have people feeling better, and that we have thriving organizations that are capable to change like this. So the roles I work in is in the senior transformation and leadership positions. And again, thank you, Antonio, for inviting me. I am so happy that you got this idea to invite me. So now I will be sharing my screen in a second. I have to just accept a few more people, and here we go. So tonight's or this afternoon's or today's, I would say better, subject is all about, give me a second, I'm just a man, one thing at a time. So I will just share my screen. Here we go. Perfect, that's the right one. Yep. Can you see it in full screen? Thomas Valenta, can you confirm?
I can confirm that I see the full screen.
Thank you, my friend. So with that, tonight's subject is about with our people is not a digital or not an agile transformation, because to become digital, you actually need to become agile as well, do that as an agile transformation. So that is the point. And again, for those who haven't heard it before, I'm Christian Delores, and I'm based out of Stockholm, Sweden. And I work internationally, also especially between Sweden and Switzerland, my home country. And now it's my pleasure to get going. The problem we have in the world today is leadership, and we need to do what we can about helping the organizations to let go of command and control. This is where a digital or an agile transformation starts, dear friends. So with that said, I would like to show some figures where we were at before the pandemic started. And what we had is actually, this is the IMD Digital Vortex 2019, or an excerpt out of that. And of leadership realizing that there will be a significant digital disruption to their organizations. And how does it look today? Well, today, citing the PMI, Project Management Institute Pulse of Profession 2021, which just came out, actually we have 68% of organizations that realize it. You can look at different results. What we all can see is that digital transformation has increased in percentage of what is at stake. And with that, I would like to move into the next one here. So what has happened? If we go back from 2019 to today, actually last year, you'll see this frog, and this is actually the leapfrog we've made in just a few months, between 3 to 7 months. We have made last year the leapfrog in digital transformation as well. And that is actually leapfrog or a an acceleration in 3 to 7 years ahead of we were. A lot of things have changed. We're working from home, soon hybrid when we all get vaccinated, hopefully. In some countries here have gone back a bit to offices. In others, it is still a lot of homework, and homework is here to stay in some way. And that poses also another dimension on leadership challenge, because of leading hybrid virtual teams is something completely different than seeing people face to face, as we appreciate. With that said, the top skills according to WEF for 2025, what they foresee, the 10 top skills will be analytic thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, and complex problem solving. And this complex problem solving is actually also confirmed by PMI's Pulse of Profession 2021 report, where 47% of companies that are what they call gymnastic, that meaning that they really assimilate and lead change, that the complex problem solving techniques are enterprise-wide in 47% in the companies. So, and that is on the rise. So what does it mean? It means that this complex problem solving techniques and analytical skills and thinking and innovation approach is becoming more and more important. I will not iterate the full stack here. Surprisingly, leadership and social influence comes at the fifth position. I have my view on this as well, which might be a bit different. So in this, we are now still seeing the same mega trends. This is a slide that I actually used before the pandemic. And looking at it once again, we still see a trend of rapid urbanization, yes, in some countries, but in other countries with good infrastructure, such as Sweden, for instance, we see people actually leaving the cities. Climate change and resource scarcity is surprisingly not the main topic anymore, or to not a good enough extent on the top of the mind of leadership. As we can see, it is up to 30–40%, depending on which report you look at, that still value. Now it is cybersecurity, and the second one is the pandemic, and then there is the geopolitical insecurity. This morning I saw a small clip where there are 26,000 objects around the globe that are just circulating, and the dangerousness, one of them actually hits one of the satellites that is for navigation or for financial transactions, which would cause a massive problem to us humans on the world. So we need to become agile to really be able to foresee, but also adapt to change really, really quick. And this poses a huge challenge, and this we need to look into briefly in a while. We have the shift in global economic power. I don't need to iterate what is happening in China, very aggressive style, expansive style, and other parts of the world as well. We know that we are living in a world which is really VUCA, and that is volatile and unforeseeable. It is complex and ambiguous. Democratic and social change. We know that with climate change comes also the mass refugees. In a while now, the good thing is that America is finally reacting to the climate change topic, going back on track, and with the promise made by President Joe Biden to really coming into line. It's a massive commitment. We hope for that. Technological breakthroughs. We know that we are more and more going and already in the world of AI, virtual reality, and all the technological enhancements. We will soon have our walls plastered, with displays instead of paint on the wall, where we can walk in different rooms. So we can also have holograms and really interact with each other virtually in a way which we haven't even thought at before. And these are the kind of things that we have ahead of us. So what does this picture from Hurricane Katrina mean? It means that the pandemic has just, accelerated even more the digital transformation that we are into. And it is about, as I said, the disruption. It is also about polarization that we can see. And it's becoming an age issue. We see now with the pandemic that the younger people have unfortunately more difficulties to get a job and stay with the jobs. So what does it mean in general? It means that the organizations must become business agile much faster. We see too much still of these issues where management, leadership cannot let go of command and control. Because when you implement agile, it means that you start to work transversally. And in order to become business agile, you need to change the ways of working and enable the people. And that is not management by fear, which inhibits people from innovating. It means that we really must do something really different about it and let go of command and control. But that's easier said than done. I have to admit one more here. So now going into the next dimension, the survival requires actually a culture transformation. And this is one of my favorite slides, because what this is all about is about the drivers of what we are ahead in order to become fully business agile. The digital transformation is really a driver where we need to think about the new generations that are 50% of the global workforce already is already, they are the new generations. They're digital native. They demand inclusive leadership style. They don't accept to be commanded. They don't accept that they're being fit into a single slot of traditional job description. So the sustainability issue becomes even more important, because what is sustainability? It is leadership. It is sustainable leadership where we empower people in being ourselves as leaders, vulnerable and transparent. Okay, I've made a mistake. A mistake is not a mistake. It's about learning. It's like I'm thinking like this, and I would like to bring this forward. If you're not thinking like this yourselves already, I don't fail. I just learn more. And that is what Nelson Mandela did. And this is really what we need to think about, because your house will still stand if you make a failure, and the capital or whatever government building you are from in which country will still stand. So with that said, all about this is what is at stake here. What is the main thing? It is to stop looking inwards. It is about building value for the society, and it is for whom are we working for, mostly in companies. We're working for customers. So it's about building customer value by connecting the dots between digital transformation, sustainability, and innovation. And innovation comes by, okay, this didn't go so well, I made a mistake. It's about showing transparency again, vulnerability, to build trust. Because if you do that, think about the 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps that I'm talking about? It's first of all, we need to all have a purpose. An organization without purpose is an organization that is going in any direction. Even if you have a strategic framework, strategic objectives, vision, everything agreed. If the purpose is not connected to everything you do and starting from the purpose, you will not succeed. In the long term, you will not be able to attract these young talents, because the talent war is only starting. So with that said, all of this needs to be enabled with ethical and servant leadership that is really human-based, and that is to do what? To be able to become business agile, meaning if I ask you, Thomas, please change our business model, and you come back and you say, Christian, it will take 7 months, and I say, what? This is not what I mean. We need to be able to change our business models based on real-time data, just like this. And this transformation to go there means that we need to do an agile transformation, start with agile ways of working, like with the SAFe framework or PMI's discipline agile, or any other thing that is not only IT, but that covers a whole organization as an agile model to become business agile. So it's with this chameleon, we need to be able to change color this fast if we not only want to survive, but also thrive and succeed in the long term. Let's see, I need to admit someone else here. Perfect. Then we continue to the next. So my question is, we all know about the coronavirus, but why do we need to change management? We all get shocked if, and I'm sorry if you got the corona, the COVID, I have managed not to get it until now, as far as I know, and I thank myself and God for this. So with this said, let's have a look at the Kübler-Ross curve. The Kübler-Ross curve is a model I personally like very much because it really reflects how we human beings are reacting to change. So the change, oh, I've got the COVID-19, for instance, maybe not the best example, but I took it just to mark that. And oh, the shock and surprise. No, oh, it doesn't, it's nothing that I got, yes, but I have anyway. So it's denial and then frustration. And in order not to come down into that depression, it's about having that valley in this graph as shallow as possible and as narrow as possible. And this is why we need change management in order to move from left to right as quickly and as fast as possible. So we start to experiment and decide. We experiment. We experiment. Please mute your mics. We start to experiment with the initial engagement in new situation, and we continue all the way to integrating the new solution. So if I've got the COVID after the denial, well, I need to be taken care of. Hopefully, I'm not getting too sick that I have to go to hospital. And then if I have some issues with the COVID, I start looking at how can I recover from this. I do a maximum as my destiny or the body and the health services permit. And then maybe I might have a choice later on if I want to do a maximum to what I can to recover from that. And then I can go back to the life I had before, hopefully. So now we are coming to a little poll. And before we go to the poll, I would just like to say that still, before the pandemic, we had between, depending on what reports you look at from McKinsey, Forbes, Gartner, PMI, we all know that the majority of change fails. Let's agree on that. It's actually between still 60 and 80% somewhere. So, and it hasn't gotten much better after the pandemic, especially not now when we need to change faster and in a short time frame, because time is not there anymore, because we don't know what the new normal is. Who knows? So please go to and start a browser or take your device and go into www.menti.com and use the code 36235126. And if you can do that, Antonio, it would be good if you can take that and put it in the chat so everyone has it, so I can continue to speak. Otherwise, I have to stop. And I can admit the people joining, that's okay. So please go into menti.com and use the code 3623 on the top here, 5126, and start entering what are the main reasons for failed change. Can someone confirm that it is accessible?
Yes, we are doing it.
Thank you. And as there's quite some chat traffic, just to remind again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will have a look at it and answer it as we go. We try to time box as well. So I will try to refresh my screen because I cannot see what is going on in this. Here it comes. Now we can see finally. Yes. So we have no clear goal or requirements. Here it comes. Culture, fear, leadership. Yep. Please go on, type as much as you want for a little while, and we'll have a look what stands out. Lack of belief, very true. No support executive. This is one of the top reasons when it fails. Or abdication, and organizational strategy, lack of vision, lack of trust. Yes, lack of trust, and again, management by fear. Very, very tricky. People, yes, fear, culture, again, leadership, excellent. Go on, type that. We'll try to share this afterwards with you. Antonio will share that. So thank you. Mid-management, no engagement, is excellent. This is one typical thing. They make a huge resistance because they get it from the top and from below, and they are in the middle because they sit on processes and systems, and they need to be engaged at the beginning, actually. So with that, I continue to the next slide. Let me see if I can get out of this. Hopefully, it should work. Interesting. Forward, I cannot go forward. I have to escape. Sorry for that. This is just a small technical issue that we will solve like this. Okay. No, that one I didn't want to show because we can say it. So what I wanted to say is this: we are soon coming to our breakout room sessions. Before that, there is a solution on how to manage agile transformation. But before we go there, very important to remember is that we tend to focus too much on the technical side only of the change in a program and a project, or whatever we call the change initiative. That is to design and develop and deliver. And then we forget, oh, people, no. I mean, hey, Mark, I told you 3 times already, you know where we're going. What's your problem? You're not following? Just a joke, eh? But you see, the thing is that I, as a leader, haven't worked with you to build awareness. That is the first A in ProSci's APCAR. I will soon mention what ProSci is. And that is awareness, to have the desire to come on board and gain the knowledge, and then be able, have ability, the second A. Then R stands for the reinforcement. These are building blocks everyone goes through, including the CEO and the chairman of the board in a major transformation. So what is important is, if we want to make sure that people embrace, adopt, and use and come to the future state, actually embrace, adopt, and use the new capabilities, it is essential that we include the people side right from the beginning, already in the initiating and at the latest in the planning phase of the program. And every time people need to change their behaviors and or change ways of working, we need to some extent change management. So when you do that from the beginning, things turn out differently, and you get the results, outcomes, and successes that you have expected if you do that right. So this is really important to remember. The people side has to be integrated with the technical side of change at the latest when you start the first implementation phase of the program. So the top reasons for applying change management is actually, first, it is to increase the success probability of the change initiative. If you don't do that, well, then we will not be able to succeed. Sorry. And actually, I have a surprise for you at the end as well. So stay tuned until the very end. I have a surprise for those that feel tempted. Then the second reason is to manage the employee change resistance. And the third one, and that is the most important one, if you don't include change management, the risk is very high that the entire investment that you've made in your change initiative, and again, project, program, whatever you want to call it, I just say change initiative to not enter into semantic discussion. So it's to secure the people-dependent RI. If you don't include change management, what is going to happen is that the entire investment might fail, but might be a cost, instead of making sure that you include change management and do that in a measurable way. I will show it to you in a minute on the overview level how to do it. So it's about embedding also, once you've done it, to embed a change competency into the organization. This last one is really, really important, because now that we really don't know where we're going with this ambiguous environment that we have, the companies that embed and organizations that embed change competency into the organization, those are the ones that will really succeed. And as I said, this comes from PMI. It says ProSci. It says ProSci. What is ProSci for you that don't know? It's the world leading change management body that is actually independent, like PMI. And it's situated in America, in Loveland, Colorado, actually. And they are the leading change management body with their ARCA methodology. And I've been doing research in change management since 1994, and with also biannual best practice surveys around the world, all kinds of organizations, what works and what doesn't related to change management. So it's 10,000 answers plus all the research, and that is related to the surprise I have for you in the end. So 6 times stands for, according to ProSci's research, organizations that have actually embedded an efficient way of managing change in their initiative.
Christian, we cannot see your slides.
You cannot see the slide.
Sorry.
Because I jumped out. Thank you. It's good that you are reacted. It's because I had the problem with the Mentimeter. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, so here again is the slide. I just repeat real quick. It's 1, increase success probability of change initiative. 2nd, manage employee change resistance. 3rdly, secure people dependent RI. And as I was into, embed change competency into the organization. And the 6 times stands for, as I was saying, is organizations and companies that are embedding change management in an efficient way are 6 times more likely to be on time, on budget, and get out their RI. Sorry. Very dry air here. No COVID. They're 6 times more likely to get out the RI as well. So, with that said, let's continue. Now we have a second. Mentimeter. I see if it works. I saw a problem with that one before, so bear with me. I think Windows has messed it up. So let's just continue to the next one. And yeah, so let me just jump out and share the screen again. Very sorry for this. So we go to the presentation. It's a big mess, I know. So let's just bear with that. I'm not going to present to the Windows computer one more time, that is clear. So I have to get out again, just stop sharing, and we will have that sorted out real quick. Like this, and I just jump into the next slide. And I share my screen this time. Let's see. Here we go. Like this. It's like, you know, in innovation, I admit I screwed up, but that's okay. So here, what does the GPS say? Now we're coming to the solution, what I wanted to present, and here comes from actually a real customer case, not theoretical, blah blah. It is the common issue is that rarely have the board and or the management team all their GPS is switched on, and if they have, not all of them have entered an address, or not even to mention the same address. So the ones that are actually not having an address entered, they will turn in circles the whole day and will take different ways. So it doesn't matter which way we take, because we're not arriving at the same place. And with that said, the recipe for digital or agile transformation success is about, firstly, we need to dissipate the fog, making sure everyone is going to the same direction. And that starts from the top. But with an agile transformation, it's two ways. It's push from the top, but it's also pull, and the demand comes also from underneath. So it is quite a bit different. And it's about defining the strategy. So on one piece of paper, everything is defined with the vision and the strategy, the strategic objectives, the focus area, the benefits to be realized. Oh, benefits to be realized. Oh. And how about measuring that with the people side of change? That is the point here. This is a glacial crevasse. What we normally have is that we cannot measure how we're doing in our change initiative. We expect that people are coming with us. But what we did in this or I did in this customer case is the strategy was defined that was actually last year. You started in February and we're done in April with that. Then we did a benefits dependency mapping exercise here, looking at what is it actually for benefits that we need to realize in more detail with the immediate benefits, the changes and the enablers as well. And then comes a third part, it is prioritization. Now, this is from my own experience running transformations. The hardest part, because many organizations, how do they prioritize? It's like this railway yard here on the top. Less is more. We need to prioritize. Why? Because normally we only have 2 double tracks where the trains are going out. So which train, if you have 10 trains on 10 different tracks next to each other, which one is getting out here? The first one, the one that drives the fastest, who blows the whistle fastest? That is the issue. So we need to have a systematic way of prioritization that is connected to the strategy through what? Through realizing benefits and also using OKRs. Objectives and key results. Now, the missing piece here, what we normally always forget, is to look at what kind of change is it? What is the impact to organizations and to the individuals? So what we did was actually a change impact assessment, actually from ProSci. I'm myself also a ProSci Outcar certified practitioner, on top of being a PMP and a SA5 Agilist on leading change. So what is there? Do the change impact assessment, make sure that you can define what kind of beast is this? What is the resistance level and what is the expected disruption? Is it just a continuous improvement or all the way to disruption? So this is really important to be able to define your change management strategy. So what we did here, we did remember we started February, done in April with this, bridging the strategy, the benefits dependency mapping. We did this in May, the prioritization exercise in June, and we did the preparations here, the change impact assessment, defining change management strategy in parallel. And once the summer was over, we were able to start with the first implementation phase. Now, and this implementation phase traditionally, in traditional methodology, is 1 quarter each. And you run only 2 most important goals related to the transformation, because you cannot let go of everything and you cannot do everything at once. The typical thing is, oh, we have 16 objectives, let's start with 10 at once. This kills the initiative because no one has the capability to do that and put everything on top of what we're already doing. People are not rolling their thumbs exactly. So, and also this corresponds to SAFe. Those of you who know SAFe, the PI increments actually are, the program increments are 10 to 12 weeks. Here we say 12 weeks, and we work in 2 weeks, scrums. That is the way to do it at an overview level. So, oh, purpose. I clicked purpose, exactly. I said start with purpose, and I already said it, and use design thinking. use the design thinking double diamond methodology to do what? To define your purpose, to produce your strategy jointly between the board and the management team if possible, and also integrate design thinking in change management as well. So with that said, it's time for breakout rooms. And before we go into the full recipe of agile transformation success, we are now going into breakout rooms. Antonio, can I do that, or how is it? Or you have to do it? Can you hear me, Antonio? Okay. Can someone hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Perfect.
We hear you.
All right. I'm looking if I can, because it's Antonio's account. I'm looking into if I can create the breakout rooms myself. 1 second. Obviously, it seems.
You are a host, so you should be able to create the breakout rooms.
Yeah, here we go. They have moved it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay, so we are actually 35 participants. So I will create about 7 or 6 breakout rooms. 7 is 6 breakout rooms. And now, before you leave, before I send you the breakout rooms, here a bit of rules where it's 39 past the hour. We'll do that for about 12 minutes, so we can still have the wrap up and be on time. And I give you 2 questions to discuss in the groups. The first one is, what is business agility? And the second one is, what is required to achieve business agility? So the first question, what is business agility, and what is required to achieve business agility? And please discuss this in your groups, and have someone to briefly explain when you get back how this is going. And time box with it, about 5-6 minutes with each, and just brainstorm quickly on that one. Have fun. Welcome back. So we are starting to have everyone coming back. We have the 6 groups, and we need to time box that a bit. We'll take it from perhaps 3 rooms. The other ones have to bear with us. Which group would like to start? Who've gone further? Okay, Mike, go ahead. You're from group.
I think we were group 6 or group 7. I can't remember actually.
Group 6 in this case.
Group 6. Yeah. Yep. So we define business agility as the ability to change quickly whilst maintaining or increasing profits and organizational value. And that means keeping hold of your people and your assets.
Very nice.
The single most important thing we found for that was a test and learn mentality.
Beautiful. Thank you. Anything else?
We were short and sweet. We did loads of getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's perfect because we had lack of time. So thank you very much, Mike. Perfect. Next one. Who wants to talk for their group?
I can
Michelle,
try.
yeah?
Yes, so we were group number 2. So we had a very interesting conversation where we tried to question a little bit some assumptions. And the first thing that we ask ourselves is that we discuss about the definition of agility, of course, but we also realize that maybe we start to be a kind of a very comprehensive label, and maybe we need to go a little bit deeper in understanding what we define, how we define agility and what is for us, because of course is the ability to change, the ability to adapt, but it's also something that seems to be a new label of things that were already there, already going on in a lot of companies and organizations. Also because it's a term that we got from the computer science, computer engineer, and then we start to use it and to fit it in our business language. So that may be a reflection. And what is required adjust much more quickly than usual to anything. But also we had an interesting reflection about the fact that maybe not all the entire organization need to become agile at the same moment. Maybe we can identify different pieces to have a kind of journey.
Excellent.
And in this, leadership needs to have a big role and quickly learn how to learn.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Michele. So we take one more group. Who wants to speak?
I can speak about, group 5.
Thank you, Babak. Yes.
We start with also the definition of the agility. And what is the agility? Is it, to change to take different direction whenever there is some change happen? And we come to know that we say that's the agility, yes, to respond to change, and also the stability. And we also have to not pick all the changes, but the one that it will fit with us and it will not make any issues with the organization. Plus, we have another thing, which is agility is not only about what's happened now and how to respond. We need to expect what will happen in the future. So we need to see the forecast. We don't need only to be reactive. We need to be proactive to see what is the strategic horizon, what comes to the future, so we can build the capability. So this is for the first question. Just for sure, we have different definition, but this is, the main points. And the other one is, okay, what to do is to build the capability for this change the mindset, to be more agile and to be ready for the future, not whatever we have now, but also what we can anticipate in the future. And we have a nice example of Nintendo. This is my first time I know that Nintendo company started in 1880. So yeah, Paula, she said this, and it was like a surprise for me. But this company, see how they adapt themselves for more than 100 years, and still
okay.
This was
Perfect.
A story that Amy Webb told in her South by Southwest presentation. The link is in the chat, so if anybody's interested in that, listen to it. It's a fascinating recount of how Nintendo has been quite business agile over the course of more than a century, starting in 1880.
Excellent. Thank you, Paula, for sharing this, and Mohamed for summarizing the discussion in your group. Thank you very much, everyone, for an excellent interaction. As we have to move forward, we are many people, so sorry for not letting every group speak, but that's how we have to deal with this now. I hope you have that understanding. So to end that, before I come to the surprise, it is what is the recipe for agile transformation success? First of all, if you start on the left here, this is the leadership that needs to be courageous. If you don't have the courageous leadership that takes the right decisions, you will just get nowhere. But that's not only about that. I will come to it. Then it's about everyone needs to have the same common sense and align in the direction. That is really important. And you need to integrate change management from the beginning, like we did in that customer case. We could, with the help of using precise, unbiased method, we could actually measure increased success probability as one of the benefits to be realized based on not what someone thinks or objectively says, but based on real neutral facts. The second one, also connected to the strategic objective culture transformation, was increased change readiness using the ADKAR model and its online tool as well to measure that, and also being able to take the necessary measures in time and get the people on board at the early stage and reduce resistance. Then, as I just said, benefits realization. If you can't measure it, how do you know we got there and that we are successful? And it all boils down to let go of command and control. The leadership needs to start letting go of command and control. Because when you introduce agile ways of working, transversal ways of working, and having self-managing teams, you cannot go to any team member in organizations as a CEO and ask for a status report every day. No, hey, you have to wait until our 2-week sprint is ready. You can do it in different ways as well, of course. But it's about enabling people, and it's about forgetting about that silly thought or way of thinking that making people go to work. No, it's about having dedicated agile teams and agile release trains that are working together. Work is coming to the teams that know how to do it and to work together properly, using backlogs, and also having still a structure of portfolio, well, lean portfolio management in this case, but also program management. It's still valid as before. But except in some sectors, we will see that project management gets replaced by Scrum Masters, product owners, like they have in agile teams. Waterfall is not dead, but it will be only applicable to, and is applicable to a limited amount of sectors and types of initiatives, programs, and projects. So with that, we need to work with the leadership, let go of command and control, because also budgeting and resource assignment is completely different.
I'm Amy Webb, and I am so grateful to be here with you this year.
Yes. Is that you, Paula?
No, I guess someone has started following another webinar,
okay.
Probably.
So can you mute the mic, please, the lady that speaks? Is that okay? So now I have a surprise for you. I'm running discovery workshops and using the ProSci PCT, ProSci Change Triangle tool. What is this? It's a tool that gives you a snapshot of where you stand in terms of the 3 dimensions to succeed. If you think at the 3-legged stool, in order for the success to be achieved, and for you not to fall off the chair, you need to make sure that the 3 legs of leadership, sponsorship, project management, and change management are intact, or get fixed, but not work around, but fixed for real. So here is what I'm offering you: a free of cost discovery workshop, 90 minutes. I give only away 2 of them, and that is for your leadership team or your program or project team that wants to find out where do we stand right now, if you want to measure in the middle or in